I am Elvis Aaron Presley, the name people remember as the King of Rock and Roll. But I never called myself that. I was just a boy from Tupelo who loved his mama, loved to sing, and dreamed of something bigger than the cotton fields outside our window. I want to tell you my story, not as headlines told it, but as I lived it. Because behind every scream, behind every spotlight, there was a heartbeat. Mine. Tupelo, Mississippi, 1935. I was born on January 8th, 1935, in a little two-room house my daddy built with his own hands. My twin brother Jesse didn't survive. Mama used to say that God took one and left the other with double the soul. Maybe that's why I always felt music so deep, like it was borrowed light. We didn't have much, but we had each other. On Sundays we went to church, the Assembly of God Church, and that's where I learned what passion sounded like. People clapping, crying, lifting their hands. That was the first time I saw heaven break through voices, and I wanted to be part of that. At night, I'd sit on the porch, the cicadas singing, and I'd listen to the wind hum through the trees. Music was everywhere if you just listened. Memphis, finding the sound. When I was 13, we moved to Memphis. The city was alive, full of blues, gospel, and soul. Beale Street smelled like barbecue, sweat, and rhythm. I spent hours just walking past clubs, hearing voices like B.B. King, Rufus Thomas, and all those local legends. I couldn't afford lessons, so I watched, I listened, I learned. I'd stand outside the radio shop, tuning my ears to the songs that came out of the speakers. It didn't matter where the music came from, black, white, gospel, or country. I took it all in. Because to me, music never had color. It only had feeling. Sun Records, the lightning strike. In 1954, I walked into Sun Records to make a little record as a gift for my mama. Sam Phillips, the man who ran the place, was looking for a white singer with the sound of the Black South. He didn't know he'd already found him. We started playing around one night, me, Scotty Moore, and Bill Black. I was just fooling, playing this old blues tune, That's All Right. Sam ran out of his booth and said, "Back up, back. Up! Do that again!" And that was it. The birth of something no one could name yet. A spark that became rock and roll. When the song hit the radio, phones started ringing off the hook. Kids went wild. Parents panicked. Preachers called it the devil's music. But I knew it was just truth with rhythm. Becoming Elvis. Suddenly, I was everywhere. TV, radio, record stores. 1956 felt like a dream spinning too fast to hold. Heartbreak Hotel hit #1, and I was just 21. When I walked. On the Ed Sullivan Show, they tried to film me only from the waist up, said my dancing was too wild for television. But how could I stand still when the music moved through me like fire? Some called it scandal. I called it freedom. I wasn't trying to shock anyone. I was just trying to be myself. A boy who couldn't stop moving to the beat of his own soul. Fame, faith, and fear. Fame came like a flood. Crowds screamed my name, girls cried, security guards fought to hold back waves of people just wanting to touch my sleeve. It was beautiful and terrifying. Everywhere I went, there were cameras, flashbulbs, noise. But sometimes, after the show ended and I walked back into my hotel room, the silence felt louder than any crowd. I missed home. I missed my mama's quiet voice. She'd always call me baby. To her, I was never Elvis Presley, the star, just her son. The army, a pause in the storm. In 1958, Uncle Sam called. I went to Germany. Some said I should have refused, but I believed a man should serve his country. It was strange, going from leather jackets to uniforms, from the roar of the crowd to the quiet of the barracks. But for the first time in years, I had peace. No flashbulbs, no schedules, just a life. While I was away, my mama passed. Losing her broke something in me. When I came home, the applause didn't sound the same. Every cheer reminded me she wasn't there to hear it. Hollywood and the machine. After the army, Hollywood opened its doors. Movies, contracts, money. The machine never stopped. Some of those films were fun, but after a while, I started to feel like a product, not a person. They wanted the smile, the moves, the same story again and again. And I gave it, because I didn't know how to say no. But deep down, I missed the music that started it all. I missed me. The '68 comeback, resurrection. By 1968, I'd been away from live performance for years. People started asking, is Elvis finished? I asked myself the same thing. Then came the '68 comeback special. Black leather, small stage, and an audience sitting just a few feet away. No big sets, no pretense, just me and the band. When I sang that night, it felt like every part of my life came full circle. The laughter, the tears, the gospel, the blues, all of it was there. That wasn't nostalgia. That was rebirth. From that moment, I knew Elvis Presley wasn't over. He was just beginning again. Vegas, the empire and the weight. Las Vegas became my second home. Big orchestra, horns, strings, jumpsuits sparkling under the lights. Every show felt like a war and a prayer all at once. I'd step on stage, the spotlight hit, and for 2 hours, I was alive in a way nothing else could match. But off stage, the silence returned. Schedules, pills, exhaustion. People depending on me, fans, family, crew. I gave everything I had, sometimes more than I should have. I was generous, maybe too generous. I'd buy cars for strangers, jewelry for friends, because giving felt like breathing. But no matter how much I gave away, I couldn't give myself rest. Loneliness and light. There were nights I'd sit alone at the piano in Graceland, hands trembling, voice low, singing hymns to no one but God. I read the Bible. I studied spiritual, books, ancient philosophies. I was looking for something bigger than fame, peace. But peace, it's a tricky thing. Sometimes the louder the world cheers, the harder it is to hear your own heart. Still, I believed. I believed music was my way of serving. If one song could lift one broken soul, then maybe it was worth everything I lost. Aloha from Hawaii to the world. In 1973, we did something no one had done before, a concert broadcast live to the entire planet. Aloha from Hawaii. For those few hours, I wasn't just singing to a crowd. I was singing to the world. It felt like every prayer I'd ever said came true in that moment. To stand on a stage and see millions of people, oceans apart, sharing the same rhythm, that's the closest I ever came to heaven. The final years. The tours grew longer, the pressure heavier. I was tired, but I couldn't stop. People expected the king, and I tried my best to be him every night. But the truth is, some nights I was just a man doing his best to keep going. The pills dulled the pain, but stole the mornings. I knew it couldn't last forever. But every show, I told myself, just one more night, one more song. Because as long as I was singing, I was still alive. August 16th, 1977. That morning came like any other. Graceland was quiet. The sun came through the blinds. And then, silence. They say I was 42. But I don't think time can measure a life that lived in so many hearts. I didn't die on that day. I just went home. Legacy. Why I still matter. People still come to Graceland. They bring flowers, letters, candles. Some come to mourn, some come to remember, but all come because they felt something once. And that's all I ever wanted, to make people feel. I never cared about being perfect. I just wanted to be real. I sang from the soul because that's where truth lives. If my voice taught you to dance, if my story reminds you to dream, then I'm still here. In every heartbeat that moves to the rhythm of hope. closing monologue. Efforts. You're listening right now. Remember this. Dreams don't belong to the lucky. They belong to the brave. You don't have to come from much. You just have to give everything you've got, sing your song, live your truth, love fiercely. And when the lights go out, may the music play on. Because in the end, that's all I ever did. I sang and hoped somebody out there heard me. I am Elvis Presley, and my song never ends.